All right, everybody, welcome to the Backseat Huddle Podcast, episode 28. We only have two more of these left for this season. Today, we're just talking about the conference championship games and a little bit of analysis for you. So let's go ahead and just get into it. So we're going to start with the Bengals versus the Chiefs. And this game, I don't know. It was tough for me to even find where to start for this game because this is just another one of those games where I had a lot of opinions and a lot of thoughts, but I don't like to bloviate to you guys. So I'm going to try and keep everything to a decent time frame. My official thoughts and feelings on the Bengals versus the Chiefs is that the Bengals really just blew it. The Bengals had every reason to win this game. Every single one. Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Juju Smith-Schuster got hurt in the game. Kadarius Toney got banged up during the game. Travis Kelce got hurt in practice a few days before the game. Mecole Hardman got hurt during the game. L'Jarius Sneed, their corner, got hurt during the game. Isaiah Pacheco came up limping at one point, and he looked to be fighting an injury, or at least through an injury for the entire second half of the game. The Chiefs were playing with mostly rookies at cornerback, and Marcus Valdez-Scantling, who was shown the door in Green Bay, was their wide receiver one for the entire game. And despite all of that, the Bengals got outgained 357 total yards to 309 total yards. They had less passing yards, 357 to 238 for the Bengals. The Bengals had less yards per play. They had less first downs, lost the turnover battle, and had less time of possession. I could literally end this right there because what more is there even to say? But I have to say more because I need more content to put up for TikTok. So you guys get to keep listening. Say what you will about how the referees, now the NFL rigged the game. Maybe the Bengals, instead of blaming it on the refs, blaming it on Osai for pushing Patrick Mahomes out of bounds late in the game, instead of blaming it on that, maybe they should have worked on protecting Joe Burrow a little better. It is really hard to allegedly rig, it's not hard to allegedly rig an NFL game when your team gives up 5 sacks, including 3 in the first half. And then there's going to be people who say, well, what about the extra play? What about the extra play? Who gives a damn about the extra play? Yeah, okay, it was a ridiculous blunder and a really bad look for those referees. But the Bengals stopped the Chiefs 3 plays later and forced them into a punt. So the play was completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Look, the referees played a bigger part in that game than they should have. But if the Bengals did what they should have, it wouldn't have mattered. The Bengals had a slew of reasons that they should have won this game. I picked the Bengals to win by 10 points. I predicted the Chiefs would score 21, and they scored 23. The Bengals, in the biggest game of the season, couldn't score 3 touchdowns and 1 field goal to win this game. Really? AFC Championship game, and you can't score 24 points. It's an offensive league. All the rules lean offense, and you can't score 24 points to send your team to the Super Bowl. If you're a Bengals fan, you have to feel like you underperformed in this game, especially late in the game. And if you're a Bengals fan, you have to be really disappointed in Joe Burrow today. I am a huge Joe Burrow fan, and I'm extremely disappointed in what I saw Sunday night. For someone as collected and as cool as Joe Burrow is supposed to be, the 5-degree weather and Arrowhead Sunday night must have frozen him out because he had 2 real opportunities, really more or less 3, but 2 real opportunities in the fourth quarter. The first one, the Bengals got the ball with 9:18 left in the fourth quarter, and a few plays later, with 6:54 on the clock, he throws a decent ball to a well-covered, more or less double-covered T. Higgins that gets intercepted, which at the time I really didn't think was that big of a deal. But after I look back at it, and perhaps this is just hindsight, it was 3rd and 3. You didn't need to chuck the ball way down the field. Get the first down, keep the chains moving, and make something happen. It's midway through the 4th quarter on a tie game. You got to get points there, okay? You got to find a way to make something happen. But like I said, maybe that's just hindsight. That play, that interception, put the Chiefs at more or less their 17-yard line, okay? So it was basically a punt by another name. So I'll give them a break. Then the killer, the opportunity you want if you're that guy. You're in Burrowhead. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock, 2 timeouts, a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. You get to step up and make it happen for your team. And they punt with 41 seconds left on the clock. I hate to say this because, once again, I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. But if you took Patrick Mahomes on that field and put him in a Bengals uniform instead of Joe Burrow in that situation, they're coming away with points. I don't want to hear excuses. The great ones, Patrick Mahomes made it happen and Joe Burrow didn't. Joe Burrow fell short in a huge situation. And you can blame the offensive line, but they did it last season with the suspect offensive line. They needed to make it happen again this season, and they didn't. Burrow came up really short when it mattered and when they needed him most. So that all being said, it really does feel like Cincinnati blew it more than Cincinnati won it, but I really don't want to discredit the Chiefs in that way. I feel guilty for feeling that way because I don't want to minimize what Kansas City did on Sunday night because it was really, really impressive. On defense, they held the NFL's 5th best passing offense, led by, unfortunately disappointing, like I said, Joe Burrow, and a bunch of great pass catchers to 20 points and 238 passing yards. That is all extremely impressive. And it was also another chapter in the book of Patrick Mahomes. Last week, I got on here and I doubted his ability to elevate all of the wide receiver 2s and wide receiver 3s while dealing with an injury. And then Patrick Mahomes also got 0 run support, which really is what Kansas City needed to do, was establish a run game and take some of that pressure off of Patrick Mahomes. So Patrick Mahomes dealing with all those injuries and an injury of his own, he managed to put up 326 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, including the game-winning drive. He played really, 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 really well, and he deserves all the praise that he's getting and going to get for the next 2 weeks. So congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for going to the Super Bowl. 49ers versus Eagles. What a bummer this game was. This game, unfortunately, it's just not worth talking about because the game was basically over from the minute Brock Purdy got hurt, and then it was even more over when Josh Johnson got hurt. Like, it just sucked. Like, there was a bunch of excitement, at least for me, going to this game. What can Brock Purdy do? Can this 49ers offense make it happen? The defense make it happen? And unfortunately, it just kind of all got taken away from us. But that all being said, congratulations to the San Francisco 49ers on a great season, and even more congratulations to Brock Purdy. Really, really cool story. Last pick in the draft, goes on a win streak, wins 2 playoff games. Congratulations. That's really, really, really amazing. From the game, I did have more or less 1 or 2 real takeaways. My one real main takeaway was how good the Eagles looked on offense. They didn't do anything extremely spectacular, but the way they moved the ball with relative ease, especially on the ground versus San Francisco's number 1 ranked rush defense, that was really, really impressive. You have to be worried after watching that if you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan. And perhaps even more worrisome is, wow, that Eagles pass rush is relentless. And it wasn't like the 49ers offensive line sucked. The 49ers have a very stout, I believe, top 5 PFF grade offensive line. And the defensive line was all over both quarterbacks all game long. So I was really impressed with the Eagles, but we'll see what it ends up being in the Super Bowl. but I really did like what I saw out of the Eagles this game, and there's my teaser for next week. So that's it. That's my show. It's a short one. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe. Take care, everybody.